Hey guys, James here with Waterford Business Solutions. And as we kind of wrap up the 2024 tax season, with April 15th being tomorrow, we definitely want to make sure that we are already preparing for the 2026 tax season. And while that might sound, honestly, a little insane, it's never too early to really get prepared for that, whether it be by doing tax planning and doing everything we can to make sure that you're set up to pay as minimal taxes as possible, or making that tax filing season even easier. And one of the biggest things that we struggle with clients time and time again on is going to be 1099s and filing those 1099s for clients because they don't have the proper paperwork that they need in place to file those 1099s. So we wanted to talk about why it is so important to go ahead and collect W-9s from your 1099 contractors and work with them today to get that information to make your end of year even easier. W-9s, all they really are is like a W-4 form that you would get from an employee. It is your contractor giving you the information for what is their business name, what is their EIN, what's their mailing address, and what is their business status or incorporation status, so that they can go ahead and, or more specifically you, can go ahead and fill in all the necessary information that is required on a 1099 to be able to issue that to a contractor come January. Every year by January 31st, you have to issue any contractor that you have paid by check, ACH, any type of non-credit card payment more than $600 in a given year. You've got to issue them a 1099. And without having their EIN, without having their official or legal business name, you really can't issue those 1099s. And it comes down to a fact of, even if you don't have that information, you're legally required to issue those 1099s. So even if you have to go in and say that you are filing or that you're issuing it without an EIN and you're having to do that by paper, which is really time consuming, really difficult, you still have to issue those 1099s. So one of the best things that you can do just to make your life easier, and hopefully your accountants too if you're working with them, is to make sure that you are getting a W-9 to have all that information from your contractor before you ever pay them. Once you pay a contractor, especially once you pay them over that $600, you've got nothing that is you've got nothing on them. You're not holding a check, you're not holding payment or anything like that to make them give you this W-9. So let's say that you go to a contractor, have them do a job, you subcontract out a install, and you end up paying this contractor $2,000 to do that work, and maybe you never work with them again, but you still paid them over $600. Legally, you are required to issue them that 1099 because it's over $600 and it is for services rendered. And if you never work with them again, you may not have the ability to reach out to them to get their EIN or get their social security number or whatever it may be, so that you are able to go ahead and go through and issue that 1099. And if you can't get that information from them, you still, as the business owner, are required to file that 1099. And if you don't, you, as the business, will get the penalties and interest for not filing there. So it's super, super important that you go ahead and you have all of that information, everything set up. By requesting or requiring this W-9 before payment's issued, you have a leg up. You have something that you're holding over that contractor that, hey, if you want this check for $2,000 or whatever the amount may be, I need this. And then there's no way for them to ghost you. Because ultimately, if they ghost you, that's not on them. It's on you. And while you can go ahead and file a 1099 without an EIN, it's got to be done by paper. And you've got to mail it in, and it's a lot more time consuming, and it's really easy to mess up. And most accounting firms, if you're having an accountant do it, are going to charge you extra. If you're using a program like QuickBooks or Gusto or payroll software or something like that, they're not going to paper file. So you are going to be stuck having to do this, spending the extra time doing that, or paying someone to go ahead and do this paper filing, which is very time consuming and thus very costly. So why should you pay more in the long run to have this person to work for you, even though they're not giving you the information that is legally required? And ultimately, you can forgo sending that, but if you're ever audited on your tax return, whether you're filing a 1120S for an S corporation, a 1065 for a partnership, an 1120 for a C corp, or even a Schedule C for just a sole member or a single member LLC, you have to answer that you issued all 1099s you were required to. And if you answer yes and then they find out that you didn't, then it's going to be a huge penalty and interest for you. If you answer no, it's going to pretty much automatically open up an audit on you. And if you answer not applicable or that it doesn't apply to you and you put that you paid contractors on there, it's going to be a red flag. So we want to make sure that we are being conscious of this and entering that end of year 1099 prep as prepared as we possibly can, so that when January 1st hits and you close out your books by hopefully January 10th, January 15th, by January 16th, you can be filing these 1099s, not have to think about it, not have to worry about it, and be done with it. Whereas if you're having to start hunting down all these W-9s at this point, you've got to contact these people at least 3 times and have documentation where you've contacted them at least 3 times to be able to issue that paper 1099. And if you don't keep that documentation or don't do that, it is still your responsibility and it's still going to fall on you for all the penalties and interest that you will incur. Ultimately, while no one enjoys taxes and no one wants to worry about taxes, it is a requirement. So it's so important to make sure as you go throughout the year that you plan about stuff like this. So I definitely invite you to go ahead and subscribe to our channel, share our channel with any contractors or other business owners that you know, because we really want to help you guys stay on top of everything that has to do with taxes and understanding your business. We put out videos like this every single week to be able to help you guys out. And if you need help making sure that you're keeping track of all that and working in your business in the accounting, don't hesitate to reach out to us here at Waterford Business Solutions by either calling us at 864-351-0852 or shooting us an email at info@waterfordbusiness.com, and we'd be happy to consult with you on what you need to do to make sure that your business can help practically run itself and be as compliant as possible so that you avoid any unnecessary taxes or issues that can arise from that. Thanks for joining me this week, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.